I'm not a especially good person. I'm not a religious person. I don't have a Mother Teresa in my stomach. I'm doing this for business. At the same time, to me, business is also philosophy. And I have learned that if you want to be well, you have to do well. So you have to behave when you do business. And that is kind of what we're trying to do here. At the same time, we are utilizing the low labor down here in Nepal. We're doing good because we're creating jobs and we are creating growth down here. And we're making money in here in Denmark also.
Recently, the factory got relocated on the outskirts of Kathmandu. From 55 workers, its workforce cut to just 10 as it recovers business. The daily shift begins with wool getting sorted out and precisely weighed for the day's production. This wool is bought at the world market. But as time goes by, most of it is being bought locally. With the help of pre-cut shapes, the wool is cut into socks that go under the scrubbing hands for 2 to 3 hours. And as wool shrinks, it begins to get into shape. This process of scrubbing, called felting, gives it the name felt shoes. Felting needs no chemicals. It's plain water and soap. This makes the unit environment friendly and safer to operate in even non-industrial locations like this one.
We're using 100% pure wool, uncarbonized. When we dye, we do it with the best colors available without heavy metal chemicals. We are trying to make a full circle product, a cradle to cradle product. That's our ambition. And I think we have a future product here.
At the end of a day, the worker outputs 2 pairs of adult-sized shoes or 3 pairs of baby sizes. This comes to about 50 pairs of shoes per day. During peak seasons, production goes up to 250 pairs of shoes a day, which also means a 150% increase in labor strength. After felting, the next step is to put lasts into the shoes and pile them into the tumbler, where they get shaped by knocking against each other and also squeeze out water. Quality check gets done at various stages, but most of the damage gets picked out between tumbling and drying.
Just checking the quality, whether we have some rejection or not, every half an hour later, so that if we have some rejection or let's say some type of damage like this, actually we can control it, but it is a little bit hard. Wherever we have to control means we have to control on these socks. Actually, it will be very uniform since they are handmade, and different felters, they have some varieties, or let's say it depends on the skills also. That's why as far as possible we are trying to get the uniform quality even though they are handmade.
With the wet stage of production over, the shoes with last inside are put on racks for drying. Sometimes extra water is taken out with a spin in the dryer. After drying, the shoes go for trimming. Till recently, leather soles were stitched in Nepal, but this year, ECO has chosen to mount the soles in India.
The shoes are now made in India, but we expect to have the shoes made in Nepal. Also to have the traditional feeling of yak leather shoes and handcraft made shoes. So in the moment we split the work between Nepal, Thailand and India, but we don't have in Nepal the machinery and also the skill how to stitch soles on these felt shoes. So and we have the knowledge in our company and have the leather from the tannery in Thailand and the knowledge for stitching in India. So by the end, this is a globalization world and a global shoe. Better felt for the world. Felt shoes for the world.
We're ready.
So this is better felt. We are starting with 18. The container for India has to go in week 31.
Yes.
You can deliver earlier, but not later than week 27.
Perfect.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So what I also do in Denmark to say, okay, I have to get a picture if you want to send it from India in week 31.
Yeah.
So when we have to start here, if we deliver earlier in week 25, it's finished, no problem. Make business easy.
Yes.
Initially, the sales were also intended for the local market, but price constraints and the possibility of low-quality duplication made Betterfelt keep the sales focused on exports.
So today we are an independent unit. We are no longer connected to Gleros DK. I formed my own company in Denmark, which is called betterfelt.com. So today, the production facility down here in Nepal, our workshop, still called Gleros NP, is having one customer only, which is betterfelt.com. And betterfelt.com is in this way making the sales and responsible for making the work and providing the turnover to this unit.
Meeting deadlines is often scary, with a regular power cut of 16 hours and likely to continue into the next year at least. Even the generator may give up as fuel supply to the valley snaps often, with frequent blockades in the borderlands, a fallout of unstable governments in the country.
We have been fighting now for almost 3 or 4 years to establish a good quality. And I think we are just really beginning to fulfill the good quality.
As market dynamics shift in a new production environment, one of the objectives of the company remains in providing employment and a better market opportunity for Nepal.
We provide around 200 million Danish kroner in development assistance to Nepal. Our objective of support is to see poverty reduction and to see a prosperous Nepal based on democracy, based on respect for human rights. And in this, the private sector plays a very important role. The Maoist government has recognized the importance of the private sector. This country consists of many young people and unfortunately also of many unemployed young people. And the government recognizes that in order to create jobs, it is the private sector that has to be the locomotive. And this is why we have kept alive our B2B program. The B2B program stems from the previous private sector support program. And my program officer, Vandana Sharma, who is responsible for the B2B program, will tell about our experience within the B2B program and with whom we are cooperating and what we are doing within the B2B program.
It's more like transferring knowledge and making equipping the local company with more technological know-how. Local companies also get a chance to have access to a greater market through the connection between the Danish companies. The labor is very, very cheap in Nepal. This also gives a very, very good opportunity for not only Denmark or Danish companies, but any European companies to come and start business. We should incorporate gender as one of the major elements in business-to-business program, where I envision to encourage and promote more women entrepreneurs who are not skilled enough to tap the resources.
The workers in the factory are mostly girls who come from local areas around. This proximity is an advantage to manufacturing, as work still keeps moving despite the frequent strikes in the country. Sangeeta is with the company since the past 4 years. She joined as an unskilled worker and then was trained for the work. She now is a typical semi-skilled worker, not just found at this factory, but in many similar manufacturing units of Nepal.
We don't go for advertising or let's say public notice. We just go on personal reference. For instance, if we have some goals, then we inform them. Do you have any contacts or some reference to hire more people? Because in that way we can, the new hire people, they can be more loyal because they think that they have given priority. That's why they will also be giving priority to us. If we issue the public notice or vacancy appointment, then what they go on demand more. But at this current situation, since this business is very seasonal, we cannot afford same pay scale or let's say same facility at all time. We have to balance, which means during the seasons also we have to maintain our pay scale, and at the off season also we have to maintain the same pay scale. That's why it doesn't go like that. Since we are hiring them on salary basis here in our country, whenever we go to the industrial state, like where all the industrial facilities are provided, but at the same time the drawback is that we have to face unnecessary political demands from the different political parties. We have to fulfill the demands in terms of appointing their people in our factory, whether they are skilled or unskilled.
One of the gifts of doing business abroad from Denmark, and especially in a country like Nepal, is that you see your own country from outside and you learn as much of Denmark as you learn of Nepal.